Good evening, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome back to the channel. And you'll see by the title, this is an open tag, by the way. So have a go at it. One that gives channels a shout out, just for giving them a shout out. But it's a bit of a funny thing, and it's these people that I've put down in mine are people that I respect, and I'm glad that I was able to meet them through YouTube. So this is not a bad thing for them. I was about to do this video on this beautiful Shatton Morgan, which I just got recently. And then I was sitting there and I was having a bit of a blank mind as to what I was going to talk about, which is nothing unusual for me, as you know, if you're part of my channel. I'm just going to set this down here. It's a beautiful Shatton Morgan, by the way. And this sort of knife has become my real passion now, which is older knives or modern traditional knives made to the old patterns, i.e. GEC. And this is only about 20-year-old. This was 2003, this one was. Some of these two are a wee bit older, but I am completely obsessed with them now. Do you know what I mean? I just bought this one recently. This cost, and I'm only saying this just for a thing, this cost about £135. It's a Crippled Creek. It's really hard to get over here in the UK, and I was over the moon to get it. Bought it off a young lady in one of my groups that I'm in, and this marbles I bought from a fellow in one of the groups that I'm in. Beautiful marble, easy open, single blade, lovely spear point. Love it. But I'm completely obsessed with them. And I was thinking, well, why am I so obsessed with them? And here's it is. Look, when I first came to YouTube, I really had been brought up with slip joints. So there weren't anything that I thought highly of. They were just something used, excuse me, for cutting that I'd used all my life. But I had no real affection with them. And when I found out, I started watching YouTube, I was buying fishing knives and things like that, and I was looking to get the best one, and I came across our YouTube, and I seen locking knives, and I seen they were for sale over here in the UK. I didn't even know there was knives online shops. You could buy locking knives in the UK. I had no idea. I was a complete newbie when I came onto YouTube, and I started to buy them, and I became obsessed with them, and that's what my collection started with. And then gradually over time, I started to see I used to have one of them when I was when I was a kid, when I was a youngster, a teenager, and I started watching them videos. And over a period of a few years, it was probably about 4 years, I collected mostly locking knives and the odd UK slip joint, because I wanted to sort of be in that market as well as in YouTube reviews. But somewhere along the line, it just switched, and I literally just switched nearly overnight and started collecting these and selling off my locking knives. And I mean, people think I have an awful lot of knives, but in my collection now, I have half a dozen good locking knives, and the rest are budget. But I never got rid of them because they're flipping good. So I love, I still love that part of my collection. And the 5 knives that I've got are fantastic and cover every genre that I need. But this and the older ones now are the ones that, and here's what's good about it for me. If I go out, I mean, some of these, like, I bought, this was about £90 when I bought it. That was 135. I think that was 100. This was under 100. I traded for a wee small GEC number 14. But when I buy these, I know they can stay in my collection and they'll never age. They'll get better with age, if you like. And that's why I love it so much. If I buy a Civivi at around this price, and Civivis are going up in price now. They start cheap, they go up. These don't tend to go up as fast. But if I buy that sort of range of a knife between 80 and 120, say, the chances are it's not going to stay in my collection because I don't collect them. I'll buy them for the channel to show and, to keep up with what's out there. But they end up being sold, and I keep the ones that I really like. So to me, it's pointless because I love these so much. Why would I want to do that? I like once a year to buy, or once or twice a year to buy, one of the up-and-coming modern knives that are out there, just to see what it's like for me and to have it on the channel. But these boys, over a period of a lot of years, have changed my mind back to slip joints. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, it is a bit of a fun poke at them, but it is the best that's ever happened because I have got a beautiful collection now of knives. I've got other slip joints that high-end modern ones like my Jack Wolf knives, and I love them every bit as much. But this sort of collection, my GECs, the Cripple Creek marbles, Shatton Morgan, they're the ones that really excite me and that I want to build a collection of. And Warthogg sprang to mind. Now, he's probably one of the newer of the 5 people that I nominated, but I put him at the top because it's his flipping collection that does my head, and it's so good. It really, I get excited when I see a Warthogg video coming up and I see what new knife he's got, and it's usually secondhand and it's usually in great condition. I just love it. And that really got me in this direction, which is a fantastic thing for me, and I thank him very much for that. The next one, going back up on the time that I got him, so we're starting at the most modern channel that really has done it for me is Warthogg. Then Slick Slicers. We met him, you know, we came around about the same time, I think. It wasn't that much between us. And he got me more into British knives that, again, I didn't know anything about. And he educated me by watching his videos and seeing the knives he collects. He has an amazing collection of British knives. Absolutely perfect collection. And going back before that, it was Messer HQ. Lovely fella, lives in Germany. Just a fantastic, his channel was fantastic. I loved the way he talked, and his passion about knives really resonated with me and how I felt about it, because you could tell in his voice. And to go before him, it was Randy Johnston. I could have sat and listened to Randy Johnston from morning till night when he was talking about slip joints. The locking knives, I was sort of going off them when I found Randy. But I mean, and this was a few years ago, Randy was just, he excited me in the slip joints. And how, I don't know, nearly, I was going to say primal, but he talked about knives as if it was, you know, from caveman to now, knives we used, and everybody used, and just, I don't know, it was something about the way that he spoke, the way that he told the story, just hooked me, hook, line and sinker. I was right into it. And especially at the time, he was very much into GECs, and that's where I got into GECs, was from him. And to go back further again, one of the people I loved watching because I could listen to him talk all day, I loved his logic, was Apostle P. The one that's probably started, you know, it started the craving off for older and modern made knives like GEC. But I just loved the way he talked about them. It was nearly like a romance. It was a romance. And that just resonated again with me. And it's made this hobby all the better for having all 5 of these people. If I've missed anybody out, I'm really sorry. But that's just the 5. So tell me, it doesn't have to be 5, but tell me the people who influenced you, who got you excited, who give you that spark to get into YouTubing, to get into... I mean, Randy and Apostle P, I was watching before I come onto YouTube, and I think Messer HQ, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think Messer HQ as well, was before I got onto YouTube, when I just started to look. So let me know who the people you did, whether it's somebody just modern now, like Warthogg's, you know, my modern one, and Bart has been around a few years now, but it'll be interesting to see out there how many people, you know, have a cross-reference of people that enticed him into this part of my hobby, which, I mean, I have lots of parts to my hobby. Sharpening, I've got people like Jeff Jewell, all sorts of other people into it. But just in collecting older knives, or, you know, knives made in the old way. There you go, Paddy's away. Debate, talk, put a video up, please, and tell me the people that encouraged you to come into YouTube. I think it's a great open tag because everybody can join in. You don't have to have a special knife. You don't have to have so many. This is just get it out. Let's out these people that have made our lives absolutely heaven. Take care. Bye-bye. Paddy's away.